All right. This is an afternoon discussion here. I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on right now. We got really just go over the potential for snow, um, and where it's going to be and where we think the most snow is going to impact. Um, so I'm still working through the little parts of my video with my audio and my video here. So I'm using a new video recording program and I'm just getting used to it. So this is one depiction here of the ongoing precip, right, for most of the U.S. Centered on this the plains, the central U.S. here. So generally we have some snow off. You have this really dynamic mid-level feature moving through the flow here. And I'll pull up the satellite loop in a few, but you see the little dots represent snow, right? And then this is rain here, right? And you have snow up in here going on, right? If we put up the satellite, so this is the visible satellite loop, okay? You see the dynamic system here moving through the flow. And if we start moving that forward, if I can get it to move here, it's not wanting to do anything. Um, well, go back to precip. Uh, anyway, that's the precip ongoing right now. So switch to the satellite view, guys. Let's take a look here, what it looks like. All right. You can see it's already starting to get kind of dark, right? Unfortunately. Um, you can see the mid-level flow here, mid-level low, right? Very dynamic system right now. And of course, the cold air, the moisture is being pushed up and wrapped around. Um, and on the back side of the system is where the precip is occurring. Well, you have some precip on the back side, a mid-level feature. You have another surface low off to the west here, east, excuse me. So the mid-level feature is just wringing out whatever moisture is left, and you have a surface low developing over here. So if you switch over to this view, we can look at the satellite real quick. These are mid-level feature, surface low generally in this area. Right, so makes sense with the surface low being here and the mid-level feature digging south and the surface low developing. Okay, so right now let's see if we can move this through time here, or look at the radar, what we expect the radar to look like. All right, that's moving through time, right? Moving kind of slow here, but you get the idea. At about 5 p.m. Snow on the backside, 6 p.m. Precip picks up here into Iowa. Um, right? Maybe some heavy rain, potentially severe weather uh, moving into the evening, right? And then on the backside, you see this surface low moving to the east, right? And then it's at 7 a.m. tomorrow. Um, very interesting evolution here. I know this isn't the best representation of it, but and you can see on the backside where we have some snow falling, right? And maybe another low pressure developing on the coast here um, in the morning and going up the coast, a weak low pressure. Um, so so yeah, the snow. I know I don't sound that excited about it, but you see where these dots are. That's all where snow is, right? So the cold air has yet to really push down here. Once it does, and you can see the convective elements on the backside of the system too. But once the cold air pushes in here, the lake effect snow machine will get going here. And that's what I'm going to go over. But first, look at the national hazards here, right? So you have winter storm watch on the southern side of the I think this is Lake Michigan here. Um, and on the favorite, this is a northerly flow regime here, and you have lake effect snow potentially here. Winter storm warning up into um, right on the border of Canada here, surrounded by winter weather advisory, and another winter weather advisory up here into New York State, and red flag warnings down here in Texas. High winds, dry weather, right? And freeze warning, freeze watch, and severe thunderstorm warnings right into Georgia there, northern Georgia this afternoon. It's tough for doing a video in the afternoon. I don't know why, but it is. So let's switch to the snowfall in the different regions here. Okay, I'm going to move my head out of the way a little bit. Um, so let's see if I can get the most recent run here. All right, 4 p.m. This is roughly about now. This is HRRR. I think it represents the ongoing precip quite well, right? And move through time here, all along to the north of it, right? And then we move to the Midwest, where this would be. We're talking about 8 p.m. tonight. There's your surface low. Snow is waning here, probably with lack of lifts and support there. Okay, because the surface low is way down here. Um, you see these bands kind of setting up in this general area here. Wherever we have banding right off the lakes here, if it can get going, um, in the short term, we could get some heavy banding. And along um, this boundary here, possibly some heavy snow, right? So, and this is 6 a.m. tomorrow. Right, and that's where this ends, right? So let's go back to 18Z. That goes out further, right? You see lake effect snow band setting up here, kind of an interesting flow regime straight out of the north here. And it switches around, right? And it pivots this way. And Chicago could really get hit here. It just pivots around. Interesting flow here, right? And then on the south side of this again with the northerly flow. If we move into the northeast, we back this up a little bit. Here comes our surface low. We have maybe another surface low forming up here. And see, most of the snow is into Canada and on the backside of this system here. Cold air hasn't really gotten in there yet, right? Maybe some frozen precip on the backside here, right? Cold front starting to push through. And you see the snow wanting to really build down in here as a mid-level feature moves through the flow down here. Um, South of the Mid-Atlantic, right? And so this is 48 hours out. This is on the 10th, okay? So let's move to the central U.S., back over here. Not a heck of a lot going on with this system, although we're going to have cold air diving down here. We'll go over the cold temps too in the morning, but my morning discussion, but not a lot there really, okay? So moving to this area here, Ohio Valley. There's your surface low here, moving through the flow, right? Moisture on the backside. The aerodynamic system moving down through the flow here, that mid-level feature. You can kind of make it out here, right? See how this mottled kind of look here. Flurries and maybe some heavier snow here in these areas, right? I still have trouble with some of the states, guys, so forgive me, but you know, you have Tennessee and all these states here could have some snow on the 10th, right? This is pushing the south. 9th, 10th, cold air gets in there, and we have northwest flow maybe moving up against the mountains. You can see the lines of equal pressure here, how they're set up. Interesting evolution, like moving like this, really, where the mountains are, okay? So if we move a little bit further east, we can get a better look at this, right? Going through time. It's amazing how warm it is here today, too. It's in the 80s here in Georgia. So this model only goes out 48 hours, and you see it on the 10th, that again, right? And up here, maybe into parts of the Pennsylvania mountains, some snow. Let's see if we can find another model that'll go a little further out. HR V3 is not nearly as bullish with this, right? But it still shows some dynamically enhanced snow here, right? Let's switch to a regional model like the NAM. It's not the best here, but it's what we got. It represents it pretty well, just like the HRRR did. You see what happens when it gets to the system goes over the terrain here, kind of loses its punch, right? Then you have a northwest flow regime here setting up. Then high pressure starts to build in there. Yeah. So all right. So let's move down to the southeast. You gotta go pretty far out here. It's still pretty warm. Cold front pushes through Monday night, Sunday night, Monday morning, right? And you get pretty far out. You can see some snow maybe in the North Georgia mountains in the Tennessee. punching through there. That's about it. Not probably flurries or snow showers there. So now, if we go back to the national look here, we can see what snow totals are expected. You can see the broad look here. See the snow on the backside of the system. You have a low maybe developing eventually. See the NAM wants to develop that low offshore and throw some precip on the backside up here into the northeast, guys. So yeah. So if we switch, let's switch to another. Um, let's go to the European and see what it's doing with this. Pretty much the same solution, really. Okay, so European has been more bullish about having frozen precip here along the mid-Atlantic, but maybe some nuisance stuff, but nothing, no big deal. We could get some heavy snow up in here on the backside of this, so we'll have to see how that plays out. But let's look at winter weather snow totals. All right, total snowfall 10-1. Right, favorite areas. We already got snow here. We know we got snow there, right? So we move through time. This is the 9th, 10th, 11th. See where the highest snow totals are up in Canada, along the Great Lakes, along the Appalachian, spine of the Appalachians, and really over the lakes here, which is interesting. Um, it's a long fetch right there, okay? So, yeah, and you get further out to the 14th. I just want to talk about this event here. So, if you live in the mountains, and it's trying to show a little bit of snow here, right on the border between North Carolina and Virginia, but I don't know. It's going to be nice to look at, but it's just going to melt, to be honest with you, I think. Um, so yeah, it's going to be quite interesting. And real quickly, what we'll do is look at the temperatures, right? Um, and the winds, the surface winds. So move to surface temps. All right. So see where the cold air is. It's at 7 a.m. today, around 4 p.m., right? Still quite warm for most of the nation. But you see the cold air building in, right? Really pushing far south. On the 11th is the coldest day, really, right? When we switch to wind chills, this is really the real field temperatures, teens, single digits for the northern U.S. into Canada. And the spiny Appalachian is going to be quite windy, I think, here. And max wind gusts, you can see along the front range of the Rockies here, quite windy down into Texas and up here in the mountains and along the coast here. But wind chills are going to be a problem here, guys. So you're going to have to get your coats out, gloves, and everything else. And we're not. This is quite of a shock to the south here because it's so quick hitting, right? See it? The wind chill just warms up so quickly here, guys. It really does. So any snow that does accumulate, let's just take a look at the temperatures further out here. You're going to see what happens. It's going to warm up quite a bit in the upper Midwest, in the Great Lakes, 40s, 50s, 60s. So any snow that does accumulate is going to melt pretty quickly. And if it does snow hard enough, we could have some flooding concerns when it melts so quickly like that. So anyway, I hope you got something out of this and it was helpful. I stumbled through it a little bit. Sorry about that, but appreciate it. I'll see you all in the morning.